Hello and welcome. Today I'm adding Chain Break from the Indie Heroes Collection 1 to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Developed by Tuxedo Games, Chain Break was originally released for the Game Boy in 2019, and it's an arcade-style auto-runner where you're dodging traps and things, and yeah, while it's auto-running, always moving. But like a belt-scrolling beat-em-up, you can move up and down the screen, very much like Metro Cross, or exactly like it, almost. Anyway, the story, such as it is, has you playing a test subject who's escaped Dr. Festodon's laboratory, effectively breaking free from the chains that held you. And escape is only the beginning. You've got to run across or sprint across 25 stages while dodging traps and managing a constantly depleting oxygen supply. Well, that's the story, and there's no nostalgia with this one aside from playing other games based upon Metro Cross as a kid, but I wasn't a huge fan of those.
Graphics.
Visually, the game is, I suppose it's little more than functional. There's nothing flashy or dramatic about it, but it's perfectly good enough to maintain the gameplay. Everything is easy to read and follow, and it moves smoothly enough.
Sound and music.
The sound effects are fairly sparse but functional. They have all the right cues and what have you, but there's not a huge amount to say about it. The overall sound of it is, it's a little bit harsh sounding, and it sounds like a Game Boy game, obviously. The music itself, again, is more than functional. It keeps the pace of the gameplay. There's nothing too memorable about it, but it works within the context of the game, and it's more than doing its job, so it's fine on the audio front.
Gameplay.
Chain Break is an auto-scroller. You're always running, avoiding obstacles, whether they'll accelerate you, slow you down, kill you outright, if you have to jump spikes, or whatever else. The levels are pretty short, and memorization is key. The oxygen mechanic works well in giving you a time limit, adding pressure to the gameplay. Collecting extra time and coins will help boost your score and adds a little risk versus rewards kind of strategy to it. The game isn't overly long, but the later levels get pretty challenging. But despite the lack of length, the replay value of trying to get better and improve your score at each level is there. Well, there's definitely a bit of a draw there.
Overall opinion.
When I first played Chain Break, I wasn't overly impressed. I mean, it was fine, but I very much thought, oh, it's one of these. Yeah, played these before, not that interested. But when it came up in Katie's challenge, I spent more time with it and spent time mastering it, and eventually managed to get to the point where I could beat the game without continuing or using save states or anything like that. Well, by the time I got to that stage, I found myself really quite enjoying it. Although that was a while back, and I hadn't felt much need to go back to it until getting footage for the video here. And yeah, I can't do that anymore. I'm sure it wouldn't take me too long to refresh and get good enough to do that again, but I largely feel it's one I've had my fun with, and I may revisit here and there. So overall, I'd say, well, it's not a game that looks or sounds amazing. It plays well and can get quite one more go-ish.
Ranking.
To place it on my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever, I've elected to put it above Radical Bikers, but below The Legend of Cargay, placing it at 217 out of 440 games that I've ranked so far. Wow, that's right down the middle. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.